Right, so next stage of our baked Alaska, alright? So what we're going to do a jacond sponge. So basically a jacond sponge, for those of you who don't know, is basically an almond sponge, alright? Similar to that was is hazelnut, this is almond. And they have a meringue going through it as well, excuse me, as well as a bit of a sabion, alright? So most of everything you've worked with here, or you will do today, you've done before to a certain degree. Right, in this bowl here, I've got my flour, plain flour, straightforward, and my almonds. Alright, so they're going in. Sieve, as always, to make sure there's no excess lumpage and nothing untoward in there. With the almonds, because they're fairly coarsely ground, they're not really fine. What I'll do is I'm just going to rub them through my fingers and then back in like so. Straightforward, yeah. So in there, happy days, almonds, flour. In with your butter, melted. Some melted butter goes in as well. That's mixed to a paste, as it were. Classically, a jacond sponge would have a chocolate base that you would basically, on our mat, which I've got here, on my mat here, what I would do a chocolate paste first, thinly spread out, then I'll put a pattern on it, whether it be with a fork, with a specialist tool, and get that in the freezer, and then basically the sponge mix over the top, bake, so when you turn it out you'll have your pattern on your jacond sponge. But because we're just using this for a baked Alaska, so I'm doing this, I don't need the chocolate base. Alright? Right, so next stage, that bit's mixed, waiting. Next stage is a little bit of sabion. So in here I have my eggs, whole eggs, go in, and my icing sugar. Note it is the icing sugar that goes in here, not the caster. And then again with the sabion, for me, as I've always said, a little bits of liquid in there just to help it on its way. So we need to get this to the ribbon stage again, as always. So basically off here, mix that up to a paste. And remember guys, for the full-time level 3s, this is your one of your synoptic dishes. So basically you need to work with speed and multitask. So whilst I'm waiting and doing my sabion, because I've got the machine here, I'm going to be doing the egg white for meringue. Alright, remember again what I told you on the Saka. In the past, we've normally just jumped straight in, high speed with the meringue, and basically the meringue will have more of a chance of collapsing on you because you're not working the proteins. Nowadays, a lot of pastry chefs out there have decided to go with a slower method to begin with and then build the speed up. Like I say, if you're thinking about what you're doing in a synoptic situation, now you would be doing that and that, something else will be on the go. It's what we do, the chefs. Like I say, we're just whisking away with the sabion. Got a nice ribbon stage, nice and pale. Whilst the egg whites are mixing up. And mixing this. Remember to control your heat, control your gas. I'll move it around if using a solid top. These stages getting paler, lighter now. constant whisking, nice and pale aeration. Key point of a good jacond sponge would be nice and flexible, so that's why it's used the outer casing of mousses, of moulds, on baked Alaskas, etc., because it is flexible and it's easy shaped. Right, the egg whites are coming to a soft peak, so I'm going to go in with the sugar. Because it's such a small amount, I'm not putting it in batches, going straight in with the sugar. As you can see, the Savion is at ribbon stage there or thereabouts. A couple more seconds. Like so. Now it's starting to get a little glossy on the meringue. Speed it up a little bit more now, and like I say, next stage for me is start adding the Savion mix to the almond flour butter mix. First batch, small amount, make sure it's nice and evenly mixed, smooth pasting, loosen all them ground almonds up, loosen up that butter. Like so, happy days, and in with the next third. Again, a little bit more light now, a little lightly now. As you can see, we're mixing it in nice and evenly. And last but not least, last third in there. Voila. Beautiful. Again, mix that last bit in, like so. And that spoon now, make sure I get all the lumps out. Right, so meringue done, off, tap. Like so. Because you've nicely gently whisked them up to begin with, they should hold a lot better now. So like so. As I always do.